Did you guys know that Canada had never won a World Cup game until today? And so I want to close out the night by giving my player of the day from day 8 of this World Cup to Jonathan David of Canada. Jonathan scored a hat trick today to help Canada beat Qatar 6-0. 3 goals by Jonathan. And the story I want to tell about Jonathan is a perfect reminder about, to me, one of the most important but also very quiet lesson this World Cup is teaching us is about the beauty of immigrants, migration, immigration, however we choose to slice that cake. So I promise I'll tell you guys all about Jonathan and this Canadian team, but I want to share briefly. I wrote this piece as far as my quick summary from this important lesson. And the question I was asking is who truly benefits from immigration? You guys can check it out. It's on JICYF.substack.com, also link in my bio. I think this World Cup is really teaching us the beauty and power of immigration, migration, people moving from different countries, coming to different countries, impacting different countries, helping other countries, and the reverse is also true. So back to Jonathan. See, Jonathan, he was actually born in the United States to Haitian parents. His parents, when he was born very young, they actually moved back to Haiti from the U.S. And then when he was about 6 years old, they migrated to Canada. That is where he developed his soccer skills, talent. And now he's become Canada's all-time leading scorer. There was one point that Canada had never scored a goal in the World Cup. And the first time Canada scored a World Cup goal was in the 2022 World Cup. And the player who scored a goal for Canada that time was Alphonso Davies, another player on this team. So when you look at Alphonso Davies' also journey and background, he was born to Liberian parents in a refugee camp in my country of Ghana. That is also the power of immigration, migration, and now Alphonso Davies is one of the world's best elite players. He plays for Bayern Munich. Jonathan plays for Juventus. And speaking of the Canadian team, another superstar on the Canadian team is Cyle Larin. Cyle Larin is of Jamaican roots. His parents migrated from Jamaica to Canada. That is where he was born, that is where he was raised. That is the country that he plays for. But without migration, without immigration, none of these players that I've talked about, they don't play for Canada. And I'll leave you guys with one last player on this Canadian team. Buchanan plays also for Canada. He's also of Jamaican roots. Another player, because of immigration, because of migration, because of parents choosing to move from one country to other, raising their kids in these countries, these kids get to play for these countries and see the impact of it. So while Jonathan is my player of the day as far as day 8 of this beautiful World Cup we're seeing, I hope my biggest lesson, this is a lesson I'm going to keep reinforcing throughout this World Cup, is I will tell you guys who my favorite player is and really try to reconnect the dots and bring back this lesson. My biggest key takeaway is we're all from somewhere. We all need somewhere. We've all been somewhere. But the reverse is also true. Somewhere has needed us. Somewhere has benefited from us. Somewhere is somewhere because we are somewhere. So we stop to ask ourselves this question. It's a very, very touchy topic for a lot of people. And I trust you guys. Trust me, I wrote this piece intentionally. I actually paid homage to my Nigerian people. But I think the examples and the lessons that I share in there is something that can help all of us touch this uncomfortable topic. So if we stop to think about it, both sides truly benefit from it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Yes, there is conversations about policies, things that need to be better. But I think a lot of these countries that were watching the World Cup, whether you watch the U.S. men's national team, you guys saw Flo Balogun, Mexico, Julian Quinones, he was born in Colombia. He plays for Mexico. He scored the first goal in this World Cup when Mexico played South Africa. And I have a beautiful story. I will let you guys read it. I'll leave you with a teaser. If you look at the Sweden national team, the first game, the 4 goals they scored perfectly describe the power and impact of immigration and migration. Everybody knows world-class superstar Kylian Mbappe, African roots, including Nigerian roots. And so that is my biggest key takeaway through this World Cup. Again, I will keep sharing a lot of these stories. But for me, my player of the night is Jonathan David because he played an incredible game, helped Canada get their first win ever in the World Cup. I think it is also so cool to think about the fact that without their parents migrating, without their families migrating, they don't get to play for Canada. But Canada has also played a big role too. There are some players who were born and raised in Canada, their parents moved to Canada. But those players also chose to play for, let's say, Haiti, or choose to play for Ghana, or choose to play for the countries that their parents or their roots are from. And so the opposite, the reverse is also true. So again, that is why I keep saying and reinforcing that both sides benefit. And if both sides benefit, then truly all of us benefit from immigration and migration. So please check out this piece I wrote. Again, link in my bio. You can find it also on my Just In Case You Forgot. That's where I write about the things that I learned in healthcare as a patient advocate first, but also I write about the things in sports like the World Cup is teaching us. I like writing about the fun, the competition, but also life lessons in sports. And also I like writing about our everyday well-being, the things and the simple reminders that sometimes, even though we know, sometimes we all need reminders too. Like I remind myself about these things. So I think for me, the theme for this World Cup for me is we're all from somewhere, and there's so many beautiful stories, like Jonathan, like Cyle Larin, like so many, Alphonso Davies, Flo Balogun, Kylian Mbappe. I haven't even told you guys about Lamine Yamal. Go read the piece, and you guys will come back, and I'd love to get your thoughts, agree to disagree, whatever it is. I think we all can learn from it. As always, be human. Don't forget to be kind. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however you are. I hope you guys have a good night. Congrats to Canada. I'm going to see Team USA play tomorrow. We'll see who wins. And congrats to my Team Ghana, too. We won last night. We played an almost heartbreaking game because we almost tied against Panama. We played and won in the last minute. So I'm excited about that. But I digress. You guys have a good night, and we'll talk soon. Bye.